Learning a handstand is not easy, and using a wall is definitely a very good idea to make the entire process of learning the skill more enjoyable. And in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that.
The flexibility guy, Coach Elia.
Hey guys, I'm the flexibility guy, Coach Elia, which today is more like the handstands guy because we'll be talking about handstands and I'm gonna be showing you how to use a wall to build your freestanding handstand. But before I start, let me remind you that if you want to learn your freestanding handstand, you should definitely check out this book, Balance Your Handstand, which is the complete playbook to master your perfect freestanding handstand. And in here, you'll find all the exercises you have to do to master your handstand, and you can check it out following the link in the description down below. All right, now with that said, let's start. The exercise I want to show you today is called the handstand wall seesaw with the back to the wall, and it's an excellent exercise to catch the balance, to build the balance of your freestanding handstand. Now let's talk about the requirements. Actually, there's only one requirement you do want to have, which is being able to kick up and hold a handstand with your back against the wall. If you can't do that, you should be working on something a little easier, which is going to build the strength and the coordination you need to get there. All right, but if you can kick up and hold a handstand with your back to the wall, then you're perfectly able to do this exercise. Now let's talk about two important things you do want to think about before you go into the handstand wall seesaw, all right? Which is the distance from the wall and the way you kick up. Distance from the wall, you do want to measure 5 fingers away from the wall, all right? So you put your hand against the wall, you measure 5 fingers, and then you put the fingers of the other hand on the floor, keeping that distance from the wall, and then you put also the other hand on the floor and you kick up into the handstand. Second thing you do want to think about is the way you kick up, all right? So the way you kick up is really important in how you put your body into the position, how you control the handstand, and also how you then balance the handstand, all right? So as you kick up, make sure that you are controlling the way you're kicking up, all right? So with one leg at a time, and once you hit the wall with the first leg, try to be as light as possible. Touch the wall with the first leg, then join the legs together slowly and in a controlled way. And then you'll be in a back to the wall handstand, and there is where we do want to start our exercise. Once you'll be in a back to the wall handstand, it is really important that you keep your shoulders above your hands and your hips above your shoulders. It's really important to create a straight line to balance on, all right? To build the correct habits you do want to maintain during your handstand practice. Then we're going to be seeing 3 variations of this exercise, from the easiest to the hardest one. During the first variation, you do want to bring one foot in balance. With that meaning that you do want to bring the foot above your hips, above your shoulders, and above your hands, creating a straight handstand line. Then from there, you do want to remain in the position with one foot in balance and one foot against the wall, creating that nice and straight handstand line with a foot in balance. And you do want to remain there from 2 seconds to start up to 5 seconds, depending on your level of preparation. The more you stay there, the harder the exercise will be. Then after the seconds you'll be staying in the position, you do want to change your legs. And you do want to do that coming back against the wall with both feet at first. Then you do want to repeat the same movement but with the other foot. During the second variation, things get a little more complicated because at first you do want to do exactly the same as for the first variation. So you do want to bring one foot in balance above your hips, above your shoulders, and above your hands. But then when the time comes to shift your legs, you do want to shift your legs mid-air. With that meaning that you don't want to come back against the wall with both feet, but you do want to change your feet mid-air. And in this way, you'll be balancing just for a fraction of a second. You're going to be staying away from the wall entirely, with your entire body away from the wall. And your body has to be really fixed, really still, really strong in the position. So here, it is really important that as you change your legs, you do want to make sure that in that moment you have the complete control of your body. So try to stabilize your shoulders above your hands. Don't move your shoulders. Keep your elbows straight and push up with your shoulders as if you wanted to push your heels and your feet toward the ceiling, all right, so toward the sky. And in this way, you'll be activating your trapezius muscles and all your shoulders muscles to create stability in the position. And as you move your legs, try not to move your shoulders or your trunk. Your trunk and your shoulders should stay fixed above your hands and above your shoulders, and only the legs should be moving during this exercise. Now, there's a little progression here, all right, so the more control the movement, the better. Of course, when you start, it's gonna be rough, it's gonna be a little hard just to control the movement in that really precise way. But as you make progress, you do wanna control the movement better and better until you can do the variation number 3. During variation number 3, you actually hold a handstand, which means that with 1/4 imbalance, so the starting technique is exactly the same as for variation number 1, variation number 2, all right? So 1/4 imbalance above your hips, above your shoulders, above your hands. That's the starting position we do want to use. Then from there, you do want to join your legs together this time. You don't want to change the legs mid-air. You do want to, yes, of course you do want to change the legs, but before coming back against the wall with the other leg, you do want to join the legs for just a fraction of a second. Just think about it, just something really quick, all right? So you do want to join the legs together just for a fraction of a second, and then you want to come back against the wall with the other foot, and then you do want to repeat this movement for as many times as possible. Of course, don't exaggerate here. Keep your shoulders, you keep your trunk fixed, all right? So when you join your legs together, try not to move your shoulders, try not to move your trunk, try not to move your hips even. Just try to shift the leg which was against the wall with the other and join the legs in balance just for a fraction of a second and then come back. It is really important here that in that fraction of a second you feel that your entire weight is going above your hands. So think about it just as if you wanted to balance on your feet. You do want to bring the entire weight on your feet, right? The same goes when you are in a handstand. You do want to bring the entire weight on your hands this time, all right? So entire weight on the hands, and then you do want to change the legs, but first you do want to maintain the handstand just for a fraction of a second. And also here there's a little progression, because the better you are, the more you can stay in the handstand position. So at first you do want to maintain that handstand position, freestanding handstand position, just for a fraction of a second. But then as time goes on, as you get better and better at this exercise right here, you can remain in the handstand for longer, for example, for 1 second, 2 seconds, 3, 4, even 5 seconds before you change the legs and repeat the movement. Of course, here I'm talking about a progression which may require months of practice, even years maybe sometimes. So take your time. We have 3 variations, and now, as you can see, this exercise here can be done from the beginner level to the advanced ones, all right? So it will guide you through the mastery of the handstand position. So take your time, take your seat, just wherever your level of preparation is. Start from there and slowly build up to the max level, which is variation number 3. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about the mistakes you can make during this exercise. All right, so talking about the mistakes, there are a lot of mistakes we can make during our handstand position, all right? But I do want to focus our attention on 2 main mistakes people usually make during this handstand variation here. The first one is that they don't push enough with their shoulders. With that meaning that their shoulders are not pushing tall, are not pushing the body up. As I said before, you gotta push your shoulders, push your entire body toward the sky. All right, that's what I mean when I say, all right, you gotta push with your shoulders. And if you don't do that, your rib cage, your trunk, your hips can't stay properly aligned above your shoulders, all right? So if you don't push with your shoulders, if you sink in with the shoulders, you can't create a straight line, all right? So remember, you do want to push with your shoulders. Then mistake number 2, this is really important, and people, like maybe 80% of the time, 80%, which is a lot, make this exercise right here. So as they are in the handstand position, they drive the shoulders away from the wall to feel that the weight is going like in the balance position. Why? Because during this exercise right here, you basically want to bring the weight from the wall to a freestanding position. And this process requires you to shift the weight a little back, which means like towards your belly, because you do want to move your body away from the wall. But if you do that with your shoulders, so you move your shoulders back away from the wall, back, of course, back referred to the hands, all right, towards your belly, you're gonna lose the shoulder position, which is the most important part of a handstand. If you lose the shoulder position, you're gonna lose everything in the handstand, all right? So your shoulders have to be on top of your hands at all times. When you wanna bring your legs, your torso, your trunk in line, you don't have to move your shoulders back. All right, guys, so you now know an excellent exercise, one of the best exercises, I want to say, one of the best exercises you can do to master your freestanding handstand, all right? It starts really from the bottom, yeah, like zero balance, all right? So from the really beginning, so from the beginner level. And it guides you through the mastery of the handstand position, really from zero to hero, because like during variation number 3, where you join your legs together and maybe you can stay there 5 seconds, it means that you can stay in balance, that you know your thing, all right? So this is a wonderful exercise, and I strongly suggest you give it a try. But maybe you may have some kind of questions, some kind of opinions, some kind of doubts, all right? And I really appreciate you leaving a comment down below if that is the case, because I do want to have a chat with you. I do want to talk about this exercise right here, about your questions, about everything, all right? So leave a comment down below. And also remember that if you enjoyed the content and the explanations, I'm sorry I talked too much, but if you enjoyed the whole video, remember you can leave a thumb up button, all right, and help me grow this YouTube channel, all right, guys? It means a lot to me, you know that. With that said, I think that's enough, and that's all from the flexibility guy, Coach Elia. Have a nice handstand, and see you in the next video.